Do you ever step into your yard and feel that something's missing? Maybe the space feels too small for a grand oak or too narrow for a sprawling maple. Perhaps you've heard people say that tiny yards aren't meant for trees at all, that you should settle for shrubs instead. But here's the truth. Beauty doesn't depend on size. Some of the most enchanting trees in the world are compact, graceful, and perfectly suited for limited spaces. These trees don't just fit small gardens, they elevate them. A single ornamental tree can turn an ordinary corner into a sanctuary, a peaceful hideaway, or a living work of art. Today, I want to introduce you to 7 spectacular ornamental trees that are tailor-made for small yards. They're not just about shade, they're about personality, elegance, and charm. By the end, you'll discover 7 living masterpieces that can completely transform your outdoor space. 1. Japanese maple, Acer palmatum. Let's begin with a true masterpiece of nature, the Japanese maple. Few trees capture as much artistry and emotion as this one. With its graceful form and delicately shaped leaves, it looks as if it belongs in a painting. Every season, it reinvents itself, offering a new palette of colors and textures that keep your garden alive with changing beauty. Japanese maples are famous for their vibrant range of colors and varieties. In spring, depending on the type, they burst into shades of fresh lime green, golden yellow, or deep crimson that almost seem to glow. Through summer, the leaves deepen into hues of burgundy, emerald, or bronze. And when autumn arrives, the Japanese maple becomes pure fire, leaves blazing in scarlet, orange, and purple tones that light up the whole yard. Each season brings a new surprise, making it feel like you're growing several trees in one. Despite their exotic look, Japanese maples are surprisingly compact. Most varieties stay between 8 and 15 feet tall, while dwarf types remain under 6 feet. Perfect for patios, courtyards, or containers. Even the larger upright kinds rarely exceed 20 feet, and their refined, layered structure makes them elegant rather than overwhelming. They shine as focal points near walkways, ponds, or garden beds, always adding a sense of artistry and balance. Even in winter, when their leaves are gone, Japanese maples remain beautiful. Their branching patterns form graceful, sculptural silhouettes, and some varieties have bark in shades of coral red or green that glows softly in winter light. It's a tree that never stops giving, no matter the season. In terms of care, Japanese maples appreciate partial shade, especially in hot climates where afternoon sun can scorch their leaves. In cooler regions, they thrive in full sun and reward you with richer autumn colors. They prefer moist, well-drained, slightly acidic soil. Mulch helps retain moisture and keep roots cool, but always leave a gap around the trunk. Their slow growth means minimal pruning and no risk of overgrowing your space. Ideal for small gardens. 2. Flowering dogwood, Cornus florida. If you're looking for a tree that performs in every season, the flowering dogwood is your answer. It's a tree of elegance, grace, and year-round charm, one that transforms with the changing seasons. Spring brings its signature spectacle, clouds of blossoms that seem to float on the branches. Depending on the variety, the blooms can be creamy white, soft pink, or rich red. Technically, these petals are modified leaves called bracts, which surround clusters of tiny flowers at the center. But the effect is pure magic. Imagine stepping outside to see your yard crowned in a cloud of color. That's the dogwood in full bloom. Summer reveals lush green foliage arranged in graceful, layered tiers that allow soft, dappled light to filter through. The horizontal branching pattern gives it a sculpted look, elegant and airy, providing shade without closing in your space. Come autumn, the dogwood rivals even the most vibrant maples. Its leaves turn fiery shades of red, orange, and purple, creating a breathtaking display. And when winter arrives, its patterned gray-brown bark and fine branching continue to add subtle beauty to the landscape. Some cultivars even display red-tinted twigs that glow gently in the cold months. Dogwoods typically grow between 15 and 25 feet tall, the perfect balance between presence and proportion for small spaces. They thrive in slightly acidic, well-drained soil and prefer partial shade, though in cooler climates they handle full sun beautifully. And beyond its beauty, the dogwood brings life to your garden. In late summer and fall, it produces clusters of bright red berries that attract birds such as robins and cardinals, while pollinators flock to its spring blossoms. It's not just a showpiece, it's a miniature wildlife haven. 3. Eastern redbud, Cercis canadensis. Our third pick is the heart of spring itself, the Eastern redbud. If you've ever walked through a park and seen a tree glowing with vivid pink blossoms before anything else has leafed out, that's a redbud in bloom. This tree's early spring display is nothing short of stunning. Before the leaves appear, its bare branches become covered in thousands of tiny pea-shaped flowers in vivid shades of magenta, rose, lavender, or white. The blooms are so dense they even sprout along the trunk, creating a soft pink glow that stands out in any landscape. As the flowers fade, they give way to the redbud's signature heart-shaped leaves. Fresh green at first, they form a delicate, romantic canopy by summer, providing light, gentle shade without darkening the space. In autumn, the foliage shifts to bright yellow or gold, glowing warmly before winter sets in. Redbuds are perfectly sized for small yards, generally reaching 20 to 30 feet in height and width. There are many varieties, including upright, forms for narrow areas, and weeping types that cascade beautifully for a touch of drama. They thrive in full sun to partial shade and adapt to most soil types from clay to sandy loam, as long as drainage is good. Once established, they're hardy and low maintenance. The Eastern redbud offers year-round beauty, vivid blossoms in spring, lush greenery in summer, golden fall color, and elegant winter branching. Whether planted near a patio, by the front walkway, or as a centerpiece in a garden bed, it brings warmth, grace, and undeniable charm to any small space. 4. Crepe myrtle, Lagerströmia indica. If you're searching for a small tree that offers beauty across all 4 seasons, look no further than the crepe myrtle. Often called the lilac of the South, this tree is adored for its long-lasting blooms, smooth, patterned bark, and ability to thrive even in compact spaces. When summer arrives and many other trees stop flowering, the crepe myrtle truly steals the spotlight. Its branches become drenched in clusters of showy, crinkled blossoms that last for weeks, sometimes stretching deep into late summer. Depending on the variety, the flowers can be snowy white, soft lavender, bright pink, deep purple, or rich crimson. Because crepe myrtles bloom on new wood, pruning them lightly in late winter ensures fresh, vibrant blossoms every year. Imagine stepping into your garden in July and finding a tree covered in vivid blooms. It's like having a living bouquet right outside your door. But the display doesn't end there. Come autumn, its leaves turn glowing shades of orange, red, and amber, followed by winter, when the bark itself becomes a work of art. The smooth trunk naturally sheds in patches, revealing a patchwork of tan, gray, and cinnamon tones underneath. So beautiful that many landscapers plant crepe myrtles just for their winter bark. One of the best things about this tree is its size versatility. Dwarf cultivars can stay as small as 3 to 5 feet, ideal for containers or tight garden corners. Mid-sized forms reach 10 to 115 feet, while larger tree types can grow up to 25 or 30 feet without ever feeling bulky or overbearing. Whether you have a cozy patio or a small yard, there's a crepe myrtle suited perfectly for your space. These trees love full sun and are remarkably heat and drought tolerant once established. They aren't picky about soil types, thriving in sandy, loamy, or even clay soil as long as it drains well. They also resist many common pests and diseases, though good airflow helps prevent powdery mildew. A common mistake some gardeners make is overpruning, often referred to as crepe murder. Heavy cutting can spoil the tree's natural shape. The key is light pruning and letting it grow naturally. This allows its beautiful structure and bark to shine. In short, the crepe myrtle is a tree of all seasons. It blooms through summer, glows in autumn, decorates winter with striking bark, and thrives with minimal care. If you want a small tree that's colorful, elegant, and easy to maintain, this one is a standout choice. 5. Magnolia, little gem, saucer. Magnolia. When you hear the word magnolia, you might picture grand southern landscapes with towering trees and massive white flowers. But the magnolia family is much more diverse than that. Many compact varieties are perfect for small gardens, offering the same timeless beauty in a smaller, more manageable form. 2 of the best are the little gem magnolia and the saucer magnolia, each with its own unique charm. Let's begin with little gem, Magnolia grandiflora, little gem, a dwarf version of the classic southern magnolia. This evergreen variety stays between 15 and 20 feet tall with a narrow, upright growth habit, perfect for small yards or narrow planting spaces. Its large, glossy green leaves have a rich copper-brown underside, adding color and texture all year round. Because it's evergreen, you enjoy lush foliage even in winter, making it a year-round gem, just as its name suggests. Then come the flowers, large, creamy white blossoms that appear from late spring through summer, each one up to 8 inches wide and fragrant with a sweet, citrusy scent. These blooms are stunning against the dark foliage and can make any patio or small yard feel like a serene southern retreat. If you prefer an early spring spectacle, the saucer magnolia, Magnolia X Soulangeana, might be your perfect match. Slightly larger, usually around 20-25 feet tall, it's famous for its breathtaking spring display. Before the leaves emerge, the bare branches burst into huge, tulip-shaped blossoms in shades of blush pink, rose purple, or ivory white. On cool spring mornings, it looks as though the tree is covered in glowing lanterns, a true centerpiece for any yard. Magnolias offer year-round visual interest. The little gem holds its deep green leaves all year, while the saucer magnolia transitions through the seasons, flowering in spring, offering lush greenery in summer, and turning golden in fall. Both trees have naturally graceful branching that gives them a sculptural look, even when not in bloom. They thrive best in full sun to partial shade and prefer well-drained, slightly acidic soil. Adding mulch around the base helps keep their roots cool and moist. Though they can be a bit slow to settle in once established, they're hardy, long-lived, and surprisingly low maintenance. Whether you choose the romantic evergreen little gem or the show-stopping saucer magnolia, both bring elegance, fragrance, and charm to small yards. They're trees that never fail to draw admiration, and once planted, they'll reward you with beauty for decades to come. 6. Japanese Snowbell, Styrax japonicus. If your dream is to create a peaceful, almost storybook-like garden, the Japanese snowbell might be your perfect match. Unlike showy trees that dominate a landscape, the snowbell enchants quietly with gentle grace, delicate form, and an air of understated beauty. This small ornamental tree usually reaches between 15 and 25 feet tall, forming a softly rounded canopy with gracefully spreading branches. Its layered horizontal structure gives it an airy, elegant presence, ideal for compact spaces where balance and openness matter. In late spring to early summer, the real magic begins. The Japanese snowbell produces hundreds of small, white, bell-shaped flowers that dangle beneath its branches, looking like strings of tiny lanterns. These blossoms release a light, sweet fragrance, and because they hang downward, they're most magical when viewed from below. Planting a snowbell near a path, patio, or window lets you fully enjoy this enchanting perspective. After flowering, the snowbell remains attractive through summer with its neat, glossy green leaves. When autumn arrives, those leaves turn shades of golden yellow and soft orange, adding warmth to your yard before winter sets in. Even in the cold season, its smooth gray bark and graceful silhouette bring quiet beauty against a snowy backdrop or evening light. Caring for a Japanese snowbell is simple. It thrives in partial shade or full sun, though in hotter climates, afternoon shade helps prevent leaf stress. It prefers moist, well-drained, slightly acidic soil, and a layer of mulch helps maintain healthy roots. Once established, it's hardy and low maintenance, needing only occasional watering in dry periods. Beyond its beauty, the snowbell is also loved by pollinators. Its blossoms attract bees and butterflies, and birds appreciate the seeds and shelter its canopy provides. In essence, the Japanese snowbell is the definition of quiet elegance. It's not a tree that shouts for attention, it whispers it. Perfect for small spaces, courtyards, or meditation gardens, it brings a sense of calm and refinement wherever it grows. 7. Crabapple, Malus spp. Few ornamental trees can match the year-round beauty, diversity, and resilience of the crabapple. These small but mighty trees bring color and charm to every season, from spring blossoms to autumn fruit, making them one of the best all-around choices for compact gardens. Let's begin with their most famous feature, the spring bloom. In April or May, crabapple trees explode into a dazzling display of flowers that completely cover their branches. Depending on the variety, the blossoms can range from pure white to soft blush pink or deep rose red, often with a sweet, delicate scent that drifts through the air. Many types open as rosy buds that fade to white as they mature, creating a layered, two-tone effect that's simply breathtaking. Standing beneath a blooming crabapple feels like stepping into a fairy tale, the air full of fragrance, petals floating like soft snow. After the flowers fade, the show goes on. By summer, clusters of small, colorful fruits begin to replace the blossoms. These miniature apples, called crabapples, dangle from the branches like ornaments, their colors varying from golden yellow and orange to vivid red or purple. While most are too tart to eat fresh, they're excellent for jellies, sauces, or homemade cider. And birds absolutely love them. As the fruits ripen, they attract songbirds and wildlife, bringing energy and movement to your yard. When autumn arrives, crabapples transform again. Their foliage lights up in vibrant shades of crimson, amber, and gold, often mingling beautifully with the bright fruits that still cling to the branches. The effect is warm and festive, as though the tree is celebrating the season with a burst of color. Even after the leaves have fallen, crabapples remain striking through the winter. Many varieties keep their fruits well into the colder months, creating a picture-perfect contrast against bare wood or a blanket of snow. This lingering fruit not only enhances your garden's winter beauty, but also provides a vital food source for birds when other resources are scarce. The tree's intricate branching adds texture and visual appeal, giving structure to an otherwise quiet landscape. In terms of size, crabapples are ideal for small gardens. Most grow between 15 and 25 feet tall, with a similar spread, though dwarf and columnar types can fit into even tighter spaces. You can choose from rounded, vase-shaped, or weeping varieties, depending on the look you want. There's truly a crabapple for every setting. They're also impressively hardy. Crabapples thrive in full sun and prefer well-drained soil, but can adapt to a variety of conditions. Once established, they're fairly drought-tolerant and require little maintenance. Choosing modern disease-resistant cultivars helps prevent issues like apple scab or mildew, ensuring your tree stays healthy and attractive year after year. Beyond their looks, crabapples play an important ecological role. Their early blooms feed pollinators like bees in spring, and their fruit sustains birds and wildlife through fall and winter. Planting one adds both beauty and biodiversity to your yard, a living cycle of color and life. In summary, the crabapple is a tree that truly delivers 4 seasons of interest: magnificent blossoms in spring, decorative fruit in summer, fiery leaves in fall, and sculptural branches with jewel-like fruit in winter. Compact, versatile, and ever-changing, it's the perfect addition to any small garden that you want to stay vibrant and alive all year long.